Testing, 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 testing. Okay, cool. You can just mute it from here. Okay. So start in like 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, let's start. Okay, so thank you guys for coming tonight. And today's topic will be something quite interesting. I've been thinking about it recently, and I've titled it "Begin with the End in Mind." Now, this is said a lot, as we dive into like psychology and all that stuff. It really means finding a purpose in our life and kind of surrounding our activities or our goals in relation to that purpose. And so a lot of the times we do that, we would think of our end goal, where it is that we want to go, and we would think, what are the steps that I can do right now to help me achieve that goal, right? Like studies, I'm sure a lot of us would have put thought into it. But today I want us to look at it from a little different perspective, more from a Vedic perspective, more from a spirituality, more for something a bit more long term, right? And so how many of us are always thinking about the next big thing, right? The next achievement, the next exam, the next assignment. We're always thinking ahead, right? Pretty much. In life, we're constantly going and going. We're taught to climb this ladder of material world, right? Just kind of climb the ladder, do this, achieve this promotion, this qualification. We're always taught to go, go, go. But when we're planning all of these things in our lives, do you feel like sometimes when we get what we want, we may not necessarily feel complete or content? Or it just feels like it's not enough? How many of us can relate to that? Right. Now, on the other hand, have we really taken the time to sit with ourselves and ask the big questions? What is it that I'm meant to be doing? Where am I going? Why is life moving so fast? Have we really taken the time to ask these kinds of questions and really reflect internally, what is it that I truly want long term? So I want all of us to close our eyes for a second. And by the show of hands, how many of us feel like we figured life out? We know what we truly want. All right, you can open your eyes. Guess what? No one raised their hands. And that's where we all are at, right? It's kind of something we don't think about so often, just because we get so caught up on the next thing, and then that cycle just kind of continues. But where is it that all these next things are really gonna lead us to? Well, most of us are not really sure, or we don't have that kind of clarity. All right. So the Bhagavad Gita teaches us about the end, and Krishna's mentioned to Arjuna many times in chapter 2 that you're not the body, or you're not your mind, but you have a soul within you, right? And this soul has certain qualities that's mentioned here It's Sat Chit Ananda, right? It's eternal. That's what Sat means, eternal. What's truly lasting in our lives? Let's kind of think about that for a minute, right? Our relationships fade, our achievements pass. So, what is it that's truly eternal in our lives? Well, it's our soul. The next quality is chit, full of knowledge or to live. What am I truly seeking to know? Is it mostly just the world outside, or am I also inquisitive about the world within me? Right? My feelings and my intentions, my heart, that sort of stuff, right? And then the last quality, ananda, or full of happiness or blissful. Where do I really get my joy from? Is it from things, from people, from validation? Am I seeking some form of validation? Or do I get my joy from something beyond all of these things? Some kind of relationship with divinity, perhaps. So these are the things that I want us to think about, because at the end of the day, we all know how every fairy tale story ends. They all lived happily ever after. And it's something we're striving for in today's world, and we think that we might get it by going a certain path. And so we've revolved our decisions in life to kind of hoping to lead to this conclusion. And so I really want us to think about this end goal and what is it that we really want to allow us to live happily ever after. So that's kind of the intention about today. That's why it's titled Begin with the End in Mind. So the thing is, we tend to forget about all of these things. Most of us identify with all the temporary things around us, right? Our grades, our GPA, our offer letters, our LinkedIn profile, right? We tend to compare ourselves and we use that as our identity. But in reality, all of these things are just points in our journey, and it's part of our story, but it's not really who we are as a person. So me personally, as a student, I was always, busy, productive. I felt I was doing it right. I've come here, I've left my hometown, I've come here to do my degree, do my master's, I'll get a job, and then I'll travel the world. I'll get married, have a family, all that sort of stuff, right? That's the goal. That's the next steps I'm kind of envisioning for myself. But something happened around my second year as a master's student. I felt like, okay, I'm doing all of these things. I feel like I'm going the right way, but somehow or the other, I felt this kind of like emptiness inside. I guess like something is missing. Is this all there is? Is this just what am I supposed to do? I started asking questions and really, becoming a bit more inquisitive. And so that's where, I started trying to read more, started trying to meditate with a bit more intention, right? And really trying to figure out what is it that I truly want beyond all of these things that I've set for myself. Or will all of these things help me reach the end goal? I didn't even have an end goal. I just had all these steps without having an end goal. So this really got me thinking about that. It was around that second year. And so having thought about that, it didn't necessarily make my material problems disappear. I still had my exams, assignments, but I felt like I was moving with purpose rather than pressure. I felt like, I had a sense of direction. Now all the decisions I'm making are slowly leading me to where it is that I want to go. I felt like, I had a sense of purpose, and I could really do those material responsibilities as a student with a bit more intention, a bit more enthusiasm, because I finally knew, okay, this is what I want. And in order to get what I want, I've got to do this. So I knew my why. Or I slowly started figuring out my why. I still don't truly know it till today, but at least it got me thinking about it. And so for me, I realized I want peace, happiness. I want to have a relationship with God or divinity. And now if my end goal is that, right, to have love, peace, a spiritual connection, then it should reflect in our actions, right? In the way we interact with people. How do I spend my free time? Am I studying with the right intention? Right? These are where our consciousness really reflects. The situations are the same, right? We're still speaking to people, we're still studying, we're dealing with stress, we're still spending our time with, friends, leisure. But once we have that sense of direction, we can be a bit more intentional with the way we handle these situations, right? And so let me see what comes next. Yeah. So for today, I want us to pause from all that constant doing, right, Sarthak? I want us to take a pause from all that doing, right? What you're doing right now. And just really reflect on where is it that I truly want to go. So we're going to do a bit of journaling. And let's not think about it as journaling, but more about just writing our thoughts. Right? I'm going to ask about two questions, just two questions. We'll spend about 5 minutes on the first one, and about 10 minutes on the last one. And I just want us to write freely. There's no need to edit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to make sense. Just let your heart speak freely. When I started this exercise, I was like, I don't know what I'm writing about. I am clueless. God, please help me. I think I'm going to lose my mind. Oh, wait, I got an idea. And I just started writing. And slowly, slowly, it starts to make sense, right? You're kind of putting these words down on paper and you kind of see a flow after a bit of time. So I will hand out a couple pieces of paper. Asha can actually hand these out. And while we're doing that, let's think about the first question. If everything I'm chasing right now were to disappear, right? If I have accomplished everything, grades, career, reputation. Oh, I'll hand out pens. Sorry. Asha. And yeah, feel free to discuss with someone next to you, but for at least spend the first 3 to 4 minutes by yourself, really writing your thoughts down. So again, if everything I'm chasing right now, all my grades, career, reputation, if I've achieved everything or if they were to disappear, what would still give my life meaning just beyond all of these things that we're chasing right now? Huh? Yeah, just kind of think about this in your mind. You don't have to answer. You don't even have to answer. Just kind of think about it. Whatever comes to your mind, just write it down. Just if there was no need to really go after, grades, career, reputation, money, all that sort of stuff. If we had everything, right, we've reached that point, maybe in our 50s, 60s, whatever it may be. We've accomplished everything we want. What is it that's really going to give our life meaning? So for those of us who just came in, our talk is about, beginning with the end in mind and really reflecting on our purpose. And so this is a short journaling exercise that we can try. So if everything I'm chasing right now were to disappear, right? Education, loan, jobs, money, all that stuff. If we have achieved everything we wanted, what would still give my life meaning, right? Let's kind of think about that for a second. And you can just do any free writing. It doesn't have to make sense. Just whatever comes to your mind, just kind of write it down and spend a couple minutes internally thinking, what is it that would give us that true happiness in life?
Is it if you have achieved everything you ever wanted, or is it what you're chasing disappears? I think both can be.
Yeah, if all your obstacles also, however you want to internalize it, if all of your obstacles were to disappear, right? No loan stress, all of that stuff, good health, everything that you've ever desired, if you've either achieved it or certain obstacles doesn't exist anymore, what is it that would really give you happiness, true happiness? We'll give her about 2 more minutes. Again, it doesn't have to make sense, just from your heart, whatever comes. It can be the smallest of things, it can be really anything. But let's really think long term, eternal, beyond everything that we're kind of chasing right now. What would really give us that happiness? We can slowly start coming back. For those who are still writing, please continue to do so if you'd like. Um, so we can use this time if anyone would like to share something that came to mind. It can either be based on the content you wrote, right? What truly would bring meaning to your life, or it can be just your thought process. Like, oh, there are certain things I never thought about till now. You don't directly have to share what you wrote. Again, just kind of anything that maybe you never felt before, a certain feeling, right? Just kind of, this is a time where we can share with each other, really learn from each other. So yeah, if anyone would like to share anything. Sarthak?
I wrote one word. This is the first thing that came to my mind. I'm doing this for my family. If it were to disappear, family is the thing that would give meaning to my life. So I don't care if I have millions of dollars. If I have my family, I'm happy.
Definitely. Family, yes. It's beautiful. Anyone else?
The first time in a very long time, my brain felt blank because I start like uh, thinking about what is here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's assume like you can clear my loan, you have a back career, I live in between greenery and all that. And then what? Do they individually contribute to my sense of happiness, or is there something else that I'm seeking? Because
Because you don't know.
I don't know. Uh, First, I wondered, is it like the whole journey motoring destination thing? But
Yeah. Is it a whole destination thing?
yeah, I mean, I, I, I guess I'm landing with the fact that if I have all the things that I'm looking at right now, I would probably find some sense of peace and happiness with each of those individual threats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would.
I don't know if I look forward to something more. I can't think of it.
So do you feel like those things would give you what you're looking for? Is it more like I haven't thought of if there's anything beyond just that? Or you're not sure? Because those are the two, options that came to my mind. I have everything that I've ever wanted. This is it. I'm happy. I'm content. But at the same time, is it also my unawareness of maybe there's something I'm not thinking about? Am I missing something here? So
I just feel blank.
definitely, I get that. And that was me as well the first time. I just wasn't sure. Like, will this really bring me happiness? Yeah, I can see it bringing me happiness. But then I thought, okay, is there something more here? And I started just asking questions, right? So during my second year, just started asking questions. I'm like, is there more to just this? Right. And then I started kind of figuring out, okay, for me personally, what's my why? What really brings me happiness? So thank you for sharing that. And it's perfectly okay. I loved your answer. It's very real, practical, relatable. I'm sure all of us can relate to what you've said. So thank you for sharing that. Anyone else? Was anyone stuck? Just had a blank? Right, for the first few minutes, just didn't know what to write. Okay, I can see some nods. So, is there anything you want to share, or just anyone?
For me, it's kind of similar to Sarthak.
Yeah.
Staying with my family, then giving back to the society and nature what I have got throughout my life. Then creating solutions that would actually make a difference in people's life, maybe any form, helping them financially, maybe, or in any kind of way I could give back to the society. And the most important would be spiritual advancement. So that is one thing that would always be there.
So where your intentions are going right now, very selfless. Okay, I've got everything I wanted. Now, how can I give back to others, right? My family was the one who took me from zero to where I am today. How do I give back to them? My community, right?
Yeah.
The people who directly impacted me, the entire world. How can I create something that people can use? Yeah, it's amazing. And as you said, having some sort of spiritual practice, spiritual connection, because you're aware, in addition to all of these things, even that would bring me immense happiness, there's also something else there, which also brings you happiness, I'm assuming, right? Definitely, yeah. Okay, so now there's one more exercise. And for those who came in late, basically the theme for today is begin with the end in mind. And I wanted to create this opportunity where we can try something a little different, just a little bit of self reflection, a little bit of journaling, just writing down our initial thoughts and really diving deep into our why. Why is it that why is it that we're here to study? We're getting a job. We'll climb this ladder. Now what? Is this it? Or is there more that I'm missing here? So this is the final question. Very simple. Write your obituary. So for those who are not sure what this word means, it's basically a biography of a deceased person, right? So what is the legacy that you want to leave behind? What is it that you want people to kind of think about you, right? When you're no longer in this planet, you're no longer here. Really dive deep within yourself, right? What is it that I truly want? What is it that I want society to remember me by? And we'll spend a bit more time with this one. I think we'll all be surprised at certain things that we may or may not write down. But again, this doesn't have to be perfect. You can scribble, just write your heart, just put it on a piece of paper. This is just between you and, I guess God, really. There's no one else that's going to look at your paper. So let's spend a couple of minutes on this. give it about 1 more minute. Okay, so hopefully we've had some time to think about these things. For those who are still writing in, please feel free to finish your current thought process. And this is something that you can take home as well. I really encourage each of you to just maybe once in a while try a bit of free writing. It can be maybe a potential question that you pose to yourself, or it doesn't have to be a question at all. It can just be, whatever is my thoughts. And it's really a good way for us to help internalize and understand ourselves better. More often than not, it really does make a big difference. So that being said, would anyone like to maybe share? Again, you don't have to necessarily share content-wise. You can if you'd like to, but just maybe your thought process. I was blank, I wasn't sure, or I focused on this aspect of my life, or I focused on that aspect. Really whatever you would like to share, if anyone would like to go. I'll give it up. Don't worry. I'll come to you. No, we're done. I'll do another exercise. Samhita, maybe you want to share? Again, it doesn't have to be content or anything. Up to you. If there's anything you'd like to share. I'll get these on next. Okay.
So coming to the obituary, so I did not write anything like a caption or a quotation,
Right. Sure.
but it was just like, my thoughts. So my thoughts are actually like, I like to be remembered by the people as if like I'm a reflection of God.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not like, the credit goes to me, but the credit actually goes to the creator, because that also helps me to live my life like humble, and also my attitude will also be like, a humility type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's all. So a lovely soul. That's
It's beautiful. Yeah. Just serve others. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Soham, anything you want to share? It can be anything. Again, anything in life. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things, but
Of course.
it's generally been that people should remember me as a loving person
Yeah.
who would spread kindness,
Yeah.
a statesman, and someone who would keep everyone together. And the main, most important things are faith and wisdom. So these are some things that I truly believe that I kind of resonate every day, every single
Yeah.
day, and that's something what I would see as someone remembering me.
It's beautiful. Definitely. Those are amazing qualities. Yeah. Vignesh, anything you want to share?
Okay, so I wrote that like I want to be remembered as a person like who's kind, humble, down to earth,
Yeah.
and also whose life motto is the cake's not over till the last cream has been licked off the plate.
Love
True.
it. Love it. Beautiful. Just keep going right. Keep that. Love it. So what I'm seeing a common theme here. A lot of us are focused on qualities, right, about ourselves that we really resonate with, right? Being a humble person, being a selfless person, giving back to my community, kind, right? I'm assuming every one of us wrote some kind of quality or the other. How many of us looked at our accomplishments? I want to do this. Did anyone write any accomplishment whatsoever? Or are we all just good people? Everyone wrote qualities. Thank you. Right? Do you not want to accomplish this? Right? I'm sure we all have some accomplishments. But as you may have seen, most of us wrote qualities. So it's more about, if you look at it from another perspective, while chasing our material dreams are important, those definitely, but becoming the best version of yourself is more important. Right? We all can agree. Above all of our accomplishments, all that sort of stuff, really becoming the the best version that we are meant to become of ourselves. That's important. Or in other words, there's a material perspective, which is all the accomplishments, all the things that we can gain or acquire. Or then there's the spiritual side of things. What do we leave behind? Our legacy, right? Were we a good person? Were we really kind, giving? Guys, having that kind of spiritual perspective in your life. Really something that will be a part of you for eternity, basically, right? So that's really something I wanted us to reflect a bit on today. And now we'll go on to the last exercise, which is something I'm very much excited about. Art. And no, you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be perfect at drawing. The first time I did this exercise, God, it was terrible. But it really gave me an opportunity to write my thoughts down on paper. And essentially what we're going to be doing for this is drawing a simple path, right? It can be like a road, it can be a river, right? The starting point is you. The starting point can be today. And what does that end goal look like for you, right? Or the starting point can also be the beginning of your life and what brought you up till the point where you're at right now. And then continue that journey, right? Up until the end goal. Really visualize your life, ups and downs, right? This road is going to have a lot of roller coasters, roundabouts. It's going to have some ups, downs. And along this path, really draw out your obstacles, right? Things that distracted you, discouraged you from your goals that you're still maybe able to achieve or not. And you maybe went another direction, right? Guides. You can draw little guides at certain points in your timeline. Maybe friends, teachers, right? Some kind of prayers that really connected you around that time, where you felt you really took maybe spirituality a bit more. It was around this down phase in my life. You can draw moments that brought you closer to divinity, as I just mentioned. So really draw your anything that you want. It's an open slate. You can draw stick figures. That was me my first time. It still is. So I'm going to hand out bigger pieces of paper. And does anyone have any questions? Or is
Maybe
it?
just draw on the other side.
You can. You're more than welcome. I have bigger pieces of paper if anyone would like, just to really, let your heart express emotion. Actually, let me pass this out. Somebody that can help me pass this out. Basically, just take a couple and put it on the table.
So does it have to be your road so far?
It can be anything you want. So it can be from birth up until now at a halfway point, and then what you think, it would look like that end goal. So for me, when I did this exercise, I drew a figure of myself on one end, and then for me, I drew a figure of Krishna on the other end. And I thought, okay, what are some things that really brought me closer to him and where I got my most happiness from? And really visualizing that relationship that we have, right? The ups and downs, times where I felt like I was away from divinity, times where I felt I was close, times I felt I was very happy, not happy. Just really picture it out. I just want us to reflect on things that we may not have necessarily thought about in the past. That's really the goal here. If anyone needs any sort of sharpeners or anything more colors, then please come and have a look at the school.
I'm really not that talented.
Neither am I. Don't worry about it. It's very personal. You don't have to share it with anyone, so don't look at them. Huh?
Nice face will be good.
Oh, sounds good.
Okay, fine.
ये next ये aura mix Hindu one. Shit,
So again, reflect on your ups and downs. Maybe times you're just constant, nothing was going on. What happened during those times of your life? Times there was up, down. How long was that up and down phase for? What contributed to that? Who contributed to that? That sort of stuff. And maybe that can help you align your future as well. Yeah, flowchart is also fine. It can be anything, any sort of visual. It can be a house. It can be a flowchart. It can be a thali, right, with lots of different food items. Anything, just really, yeah. Basically, you can visualize what does that end look like for you. At the very end, what will really bring you the most inner peace? Some of you said family, right? You can draw that out. Some of you said maybe a specific location, maybe draw Vrindavan, some peacocks, right? Whatever really at the very end, leading up to that point, what would bring you that most inner peace? And what would make you that best version of yourself that you want to be?
Are you?
Give it about 2 more minutes. All right, let's slowly start wrapping up. And for anyone who would like to continue over dinner, you're more than welcome to do so. Or of course, you have your paper with you, so you can always continue, at home. Um, did anyone notice anything different? Like you felt you're maybe a bit more expressive in your art. It could describe certain feelings that you maybe weren't able to put into words, or really help visualize that end goal.
It was the other
Hmm?
way. Actually, it was the other way.
Other way around, yeah. Some people prefer writing more. That's why I wanted to give a bit of both today, so that you can really experience, am I more of a writer, more of an artistic person? Or even if I'm not artistic, maybe there are certain things that I was able to visualize that I couldn't express in words, certain feelings that came out a bit more. Maybe. So these are just some things to think about. And overall, I just hope these exercises helped you to dive deeper, deeper into your why. And hopefully somewhere in there we also had a relationship with divinity, or God or Krishna. And the whole point is that while we're trying to pursue material, material things in life, having some sort of spiritual or eternal goal can really help us ground us, and that can allow us to align our decisions or actions today in relationship with that eternal goal. And so essentially it really gives us, it really puts it into perspective, where is it that we truly want to go, and what can we do today as students or as working professionals to hopefully become the best version of ourselves, right? And so maybe as we do this exercise with a bit more intention, it can help motivate us in our day-to-day activities, and help put some more help make our lives a bit more meaningful, and hopefully dive deeper into our connection with spirituality and with Krishna. So that being said, we will try and dive a little bit more into that relationship now through a meditative mantra meditation. So right here I have the Hare Krishna mantra on the board, and it'll be a call and response. So I will sing or chant the mantra, and then everyone else will respond. And during this time, really try to close your eyes and meditate on maybe something that you wrote or drew today, some kind of memory that you may have, or some goal that you may have, and really try to see where we can fit, our spiritual identity in with that, so that we can achieve that, Satchit Ananda, right? Living happily ever after. Let's try and really focus on what that end goal would look like for each of us. time, all together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, one more time, a little louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time, with all your heart. Hare
Thank you, Girish, for the fun activity today. I don't know about the others, but I was able to write something that was in my heart since a long time. At least. So we have Diwali event coming up, everyone. So you guys are interested, you can participate in that, and we'll have the form up in one way. And let's have dinner now.
Yay. बिल्कुल ऐसे मेरे को गिफ्ट था मेरे को ये पेंट लगाना था
मुझे याद रहेगा ना भाई के पेन की होते हैं
वाइट क्या मस्त है भाई
एक फैन
oh yeah sorry
Thank you. Do you guys want to put up something here? You want to? QR code is, it's all yours. Should I connect it?
And stream?
Yeah, go for it.